Oh. Hello, everyone, and welcome to PEP 498, the Monologue. This is Mariatta Wijaya. Mariatta is a new Python core developer. She works as a software engineer in Vancouver, Canada, where she also helps organize Vancouver PyLadies. She's credited in 4 movies: Smurfs, The Lost Village, Storks, the Angry Birds movie, which is actually pretty good. I haven't seen the other ones. They're probably pretty good too. And Hotel Transylvania too. Please give it up for Mariatta.
Thank you. Thank you. Is this working? Hi. So actually, there are 2 more movies where I got credited, and they just come out after I wrote that bio. So the Emoji Movie and Spider-Man Homecoming. So if you wait at the credits long enough, you'll find my name all the way in the back. Anyway, welcome. I'm kind of interested to know who you are and why you're here. And I do this to set everybody's expectation about this talk of what you will learn today. This is an introductory talk for the beginners mostly. So if you're new to Python, just learning it, using it as a hobby, welcome. I prepared this talk especially for you. I want to introduce you to one of the newest features of the language, only released in December, less than a year ago. Not only that, I want to tell you a brief backstory of how it got made. If you're not so new to Python, that's fine. That's okay, still welcome. Maybe you only ever heard about PEP 8. Maybe you thought there's only one PEP, or there are 8 PEP, 1 to 8. So let me tell you about some other PEPs that you never heard about. And we'll go over what a PEP really is. I want to give you a glimpse of this side of the world of core Python development that maybe you're not familiar with. And if you're still using an older version of Python, you're looking for excuses why you should upgrade it, stay around, because I want to try to convince you to upgrade. So that's my secret agenda. I want you, by the end of this talk, I want you to try to download Python 3.6 and try it for yourself. Yes, who am I? It's mentioned before, my name is Mariatta. I came from Vancouver, Canada, and I help organize Vancouver PyLadies. You can find me on Twitter, on GitHub as Mariatta, and I'm a new Python core developer. I'm really new. I've never written any PEP before, and in fact, it was me. Up until a year ago, I really thought there was only one PEP. That was me, so it's okay. I'm a newbie. So, but I've learned a lot the past year, so I just kind of want to share what I've learned so far. So what is a PEP? It stands for Python Enhancement Proposal. It's a document, design document that you need to write to provide information to the community. It describes major new feature for Python. So if you ever have a great idea of how Python can be better, you need to write one of these. And there is a PEP that tells you what a PEP is for. PEP 1, it tells you the purpose of a PEP, the workflow, how you can start writing it, and what belongs in a successful PEP. So read this if you ever want to write one. The usual workflow is like this. First, if you come up with an idea, you have to pitch it to Python Ideas mailing list. And if your idea receives a lot of attention, a lot of traction, maybe you'll be invited to write a PEP. You will use PEP 12 as the template. Okay, the instruction is that you copy-paste PEP 12 into your own and add in your own contact. Or maybe you want to try my cookie cutter. It's much easier than copy-pasting, but that's unofficial. That's my personal project, so ask me about it. And once you wrote the PEP and you're ready, you can then ask the BDFL, Guido van Rossum, for his pronouncement. Like you'll write to the mailing list saying, Guido, this PEP is now ready for a pronouncement. Guido will then read your proposal, study it, and he will come back with either I'm sorry, I'm rejecting this, and he will give you a reason why. Or he said, congratulations, I'm accepting this PEP. Then you can start writing code that will go into CPython. So there are 429 PEPs today, and I think some of the core devs are thinking up new PEPs even right now. 82 of them have been rejected, so not everything will get accepted, even though it might sound good in the first place. But the ones that got accepted, it will change everybody's life, change you, me, everybody in this room, all the users of Python. Their life will be altered. So it's a big deal. So I think you should know what a PEP really is. So let me tell you about PEP 498. It started 2 years ago. There was an email sent to Python Ideas mailing list with the title Brief for a String Format from Mike Miller. It says like this: have long wished Python could format strings easily, like Bash or Perl do. And then it hit me. He shared a code snippet. I've seen others make similar suggestions, but to my knowledge, they didn't include this pleasing brevity aspect. Now, Python is kind of opinionated language, so is the community. I want to share with you the first 3 reactions to this email. And it come really quickly. First is from Eric Smith. He said, what would this do? It's not clear. Tell me more. That's the first reaction. The second one, although I'm sympathetic, -1. I don't think we should have this. The next one, it's syntactic sugar. Don't even have to modify the literal. +1. This sounds good. So lots of people have lots of thoughts about this idea. So within a day, there are like 60 emails about this. And within a day, Guido saw that Eric is able to take this to where he wants this feature to be. And Guido invited Eric to write a PEP. And it took some time, but about 3 weeks later, a new PEP was written, PEP 498, with the title Literal String Formatting. And Eric wrote to the mailing list saying, I wrote this PEP. I have a fully working implementation, which I will share this weekend, and I'm open to any suggestions. I'm also open to a better title than literal string formatting. Remember what I said about opinionated? Because in the end, they did change the title of the PEP. So it happens. And he finally finished writing it a week later, and he declared that this PEP is now ready for pronouncement. And basically, Guido has made his decision almost right away, but he wanted to give the community a couple days, a chance to give their final feedback. Eventually, 2 days later, Guido said, I'm accepting this PEP. The rationale given for this PEP is this. The existing ways of formatting are either error-prone, inflexible, or cumbersome. Let's think about what it really means. This is from the beginning of time. This is how you would format strings with %s token. You would have something like hello %s and followed by a variable name. And initially you read the string, you don't know what is it, what is %s, and you have to read all the way to the end and realize, I'm printing out a name. So this is how it worked. Now, what if you have more than one arguments to the string? Can you just put another one like that? Put a comma like that? That doesn't work. Because all of a sudden, the syntax has to change. You need now to put in braces like that. You need to pass in a tuple. So again, as you read the string, you're saying, hello %s, your %s. It doesn't really make any sense. There is no context. There is another PEP that proposed a new way to format strings. PEP 3101 introduced string format method. Here's how it looks like. So you can now pass in curly braces like that. There is a format method. And at least as you read the string, you know you're printing out name and age. You're no longer reading %s. It's fine, but your code looks longer. You're repeating, you're typing out this variable 3 different times. It's cumbersome. So this is what's being proposed in PEP 498, something called f-string. Here's how it works. Remember the string format method before? It looks very similar. Take all of those format methods. Take that all off. Okay, repeat this. It's fun. This was string format. Take it off. Put an F in front, and you're done. That's f-string. This is the result of PEP 498, the ability to add one extra letter to your string, the letter F. That's all. That's all. Let's review this. This is how you write string before with %s. With string format, it gets longer. With f-string, it's much shorter. And some terminologies that I think we should know. So things inside the curly braces, they're called expression. And everything outside are called the literal portion. And you can use lowercase f, uppercase f, single quote, double quote, triple quote, all those works. You can combine raw strings and f strings to create raw f strings. As a refresher, if you're not familiar with raw strings, in Python, the / character is considered the escape character. An example of it is when you want to type out, you want to get a new line, you do \n. That's an example. We call this escape processing. So here's another example. If you have \u, all those codes, it will print out the smiley face emoji. And if for some reason you don't actually want that emoji there, you can create a raw string, put an R in front of the string, and it doesn't get escape. With f strings, it's similar. So this is a regular f string. It prints out the emoji. To create the raw f strings, just put an F and R and no emoji there. So no escape processing. Same thing. You can do F and R and F, uppercase, lowercase, single quote, double quote, triple quotes, all those works. But no binary f strings, no F and B and F, no Unicode f strings, no U and F, no F and U. Don't try it. So some other more interesting things you can do. You can pass in methods inside the expression portion. So like if you have another method, that, like for example here the to uppercase, you can pass in a variable there. It works. You can pass in format specifiers to the string. For example, I have an example where you used to format your number before. You have the .3f. You can pass that to your f string. So in the expression portion, put a colon and a format specifier. Just to demonstrate some more examples of how you can use format specifiers in your f strings. You can even format datetime objects like that. So colon and a datetime format. You cannot use f strings in doc strings. I don't know why you want to do this, but somehow it was asked several times. I don't know why. Maybe I don't write enough code, I don't write enough docstrings. But you cannot, even though your f string does not contain any expressions, no curly braces there, it doesn't work. What about multi-line strings? So this ticket came when back in December, I was new to f strings. I didn't know what was the problem. So somebody reported that they have this string with 3 lines of code. The first one has f in it. They have lots of expressions in all the strings. They said only the first one seems to be replaced properly. The other 2 did not. It was not obvious to me the first time. I was newbie mistake. So the problem is that what we're trying to do here is concatenating 3 different strings. So all of them has to be f strings. So I made this mistake. As a newbie, I thought I just should share this with you. If you wanna contribute to CPython, this ticket is still open. Idle does not have, there is a request to have f-string syntax highlighting in idle. This is going to be a huge project. It's not a simple patch, but if you're interested, you have time, you wanna help, maybe try this. But don't just start writing your own implementation. I recommend commenting on the issue, saying you're interested, you have some idea on how to do this, and get guidance from the core developers. So I think if you do this, I think you'll be a hero, I think. Now, finding the documentation for f-string was tricky for me, because this is the first thing I do. I went to the documentation, type in f-string, and nothing came out. Is there no documentation? So turns out, this is how you can find the documentation. You don't type f-string. You say formatted string literal, or you can go to the glossary section. There is an entry for f-string. It will take you to the documentation, or you can bookmark these really long links to formatted string literals. What about the performance? So I did this on my machine just to compare how it works. Very simple string replacement, so %s, passing in a equals 2. That's the performance for using %s. Same thing with string format, it's kind of slow. With f-strings, it's much faster. So f-strings, shorter to write and faster, so use it. So that's really all I want to say about PEP 498. And in fact, it's one of my favorite PEPs so far. And I hope you get excited about f-strings the way I do. And I hope you want to try to use it. Everything you've seen so far in this talk, they are safe to be tried at home. But you need to have Python 3.6. And if you don't have it yet, I think it's not yet in your machine, download it, install it. I think it took me 10 minutes to install it on my machine here. And it's free. You don't need to pay. You don't need to subscribe. Don't need to give me your email address. You don't have to write any PEP. You don't have to read hundreds of mailing list emails. It's done. Take it, use it. And guess what? If you download Python 3.6 today, not only you get to use f-strings, which is really awesome, there are 16 PEPs total in Python 3.6. These are all the PEPs that got into it. And remember what I said about what a PEP is. Every single one of these is a major enhancement to Python. Things that makes Python faster, better, more secure, changing your life. So give it a try. So thank you for coming. There is no Q&A. I will be at the conference. I will sprint on Monday. You can message me on Twitter. send me an email, or if there's any problem, file a bug in bugs.python.org. Thank you.